He's a tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Nine ball top number 50, you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, legend from the Jill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, legend from the Jill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. He wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
KTG from Kilmarnock Town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. TG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. The games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
Welcome to VP4TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and super admin aka Steve Chapman.
Well,
CEO
Steve isn't
and
here.
President of
He's away
Cerberus
on vacation.
Inc. Good luck to both players and have a good one.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome, folks. We're here for, I believe it's a round 2 match in this year's 2025 Virtual Cowboy World Championships. Tam's messaged me. He said he doesn't intend to be here right on the top of the hour because he knows that Stubb probably won't. So neither of them are in the lobby. We have got about a minute and a half before the room goes up. It's a race to 3. They'll have the lag for the break. And, well, we wait to see if Stubbs going to show, because he's, I think he was in earlier today, the usual stuff, typed a bit of crap and then disappeared. And we're waiting on him showing up. While we're talking about matches, I'm still on vacation, as the guys in the States say, or I'm on holiday, as we say over here. We've still got the 3 matches on the schedule. We have this match going right now. The room has just gone up. We have a 1-loss side match between Romario and Interchange X. That is tomorrow afternoon at 4. Sorry, not tomorrow. Yeah, it is tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. British Summer Time, so an hour earlier than this one. And then we have a big one on Sunday at, what time's that? 6 p.m. or is it 8 p.m.? 6 p.m. on Sunday, I think it is. I can't even read the text on the screen. I think it's, no, it might be 8 p.m. But let me check. Hang on. Be handy if I could actually read what's on the screen. No, it's 6 p.m. between Cobra and VP Monster. So I am off until a week on Tuesday, so I've got plenty of time and I'll be able to cover those matches. Everything going according to plan. Welcome to Jose. Welcome to whoever Bondi is again. And the room's still up. Tam says he's going to be here about a minute before the thing times out. Well, he needs to be careful on that. And we might not have a match. Stubb might not show. He might come up with some excuse. I don't think, in all honesty, I mean, this isn't the kind of tournament you think Stubbs set his heart on. He probably doesn't think his chances are that good. Tam should be the favourite. But Cowboy is Cowboy. It doesn't matter who you're playing. If you hit a run and you can get those caroms, you're in with a chance against anybody in this tournament. So we just have to be patient and wait to see what happens. And, well, we've got a heat wave here. Now, a heat wave, it's to be warmer tomorrow. I believe it's to be around about 29, which is about 86 Fahrenheit, which is definitely hot for Scotland. And then it's to go downhill next week. I'm sitting with my fan on because, as I've said before, I don't have windows open in this kind of weather. I hate it. I hate it because of the pollen count. I've got hay fever and I don't let any outside air into the house. Which the problem with that is the heat builds up. And with the PC running, as it has been since 4 a.m. this morning, this room gets really hot. So I'm just going to have to grin and bear it. 3 minutes past the hour and still no player. Well, I ain't going to be messaging Stubb. He's either going to show or he's not going to show, in which case Tam goes through. But neither of them are putting themselves in the right position, because if they don't, especially Tam, I mean, if he tries to, say he tries to connect to the game and suddenly there's a problem and he can't get in, it could end up a toss of a coin and it could all backfire. But we just have to be patient and see what happens. So these matches, the first one, or the only one I've streamed so far, it went all the way. It went the full 5 racks, and that was almost 3 hours. So the matches can go quite a distance, but it just depends on the level of the player that's in the match. Because sometimes it could be stopping and starting, you could be losing points and scratching, and then the rack just goes on and on and on. And if it goes to 5 racks, then it certainly can be 3 hours plus. Well, I'd get yourself in, Tam, regardless, because he's not here. He's not in the lobby. Not yet, he isn't, and it is 4 minutes past the hour. Right, so we have or we won't have a match here, but we've got the other matches to look forward to over the weekend and anything else that might appear. We've also got Friday Night 9-Ball tonight. I don't know whether Slim's going to make it, whether he's going to be around, but it starts in just under a couple of hours as well. So we just hang around and see what happens.
Where's the cue ball going?
John Virgo has arrived. We're now at 6 minutes past the hour. Oh, Stubb can come up with all sorts of excuses. But I think the main one is that, like I said, I mean, he's in it for the sake of being in it. And if he got lucky enough, he might get through some matches. But he has to rely on a lot of luck. But that might not even, we might not even get to that stage. Could all be a pointless exercise today. And of course, Stubb, Real Poland Power, does not fit onto the banner on the screen, so he's going to be recognised by his name that I've always recognised him by, and that is Stubb. Welcome to Slim. So Slim will be here. I was watching the tennis and I lost interest in it. The match to look forward to is that Sinner-Djokovic match, which is probably underway now. And it could be that we're going to have 3 Wimbledon finals in a row with the 2 players contesting it. Alcaraz going for his 3rd Wimbledon championship on the trot, and Djokovic trying to get revenge if it all pans out that way. But Djokovic could be under severe threat this afternoon. And the time is 8 minutes past the hour. Tam is here and he should get into the room. Like I said, I'm not going to message Stubb. I'm no intention of doing it. That's up to him. And you can see that since he was in earlier today, he's been well clear of the lobby. And he's cutting it well fine to get here in time. So this at least gives Tam plenty of time to go and get his dinner. Yeah, the excuses will come out. He'll probably also come in and say he wants to rearrange the match and crap like that. Well, that ain't happening. So it looks as if it's going to be a short stream, folks. And I can go and watch the tennis. That's the way it's going to pan out, I think. We are now 9 minutes past the hour, and this room will time out in a very short while, and Tam will get advanced. In fact, talking of that, let's just look and see who Tam's going to play. So we have VP Well, it's not good news for Tam because if he gets through to round 3, he's going to be playing the winner of Monster and Cobra. So that's something to look forward to. It's certainly going to be more of a challenge. So this room will time out any minute now. We are now rapidly approaching the 10-minute mark for the timeout. And it'll be goodbye and thank you for your company, folks, but sorry we don't have a match. Right, so right now, Tam will be advanced. It's not going to be any more than another 10, 15 seconds for this to go down. And there we go. So well done to Tam. Didn't have to break sweat. Stubb bottled out. And we just wait on his excuses, of which there'll be many, no doubt. But I think we'd a fair bet that this could possibly happen. And as I said, I wasn't going to chase him up. He may well have just ignored me anyway. So Tam is through. He knows who, or he'll be watching tomorrow. Not tomorrow. He'll be watching Sunday to see who is going to get in that round 3 match. So the only other one to look forward to will be the one lost side match tomorrow at 4 p.m. As I said, an hour earlier tomorrow, and we'll have the match with Romario and Interchange X. Well, I've got no doubt that Romario will show up, and Interchange X probably be here as well. So that, in fact, what the hell is the one lost side? Well, it's winners to 3 and losers to 3. I remember that. So that match will go ahead tomorrow at 4 p.m. British Summer Time. That's 11 a.m. Eastern, and whatever it is Pacific Time. So until then, sorry we don't have anything for you. Oh, here he is. He couldn't join room. Stubb wasn't here. He's just arrived in the bloody lobby. So goodbye to that then. He's come up with all sorts of excuses. He couldn't join the room. Of course he couldn't join the room because he wasn't here when the match timed out. So anyway, see you later, folks, and see you tomorrow, hopefully. Thanks again for joining us.
ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the lights. Commentator's eye.
Right, well, it's now got farcical. Stubb turns up when the room has timed out. Stubb was never in the lobby, and now Stubb's set his own room. I don't know what the hell's going on. Tam's got a room up which says World Coup. presumably he's going to allow Stubb to play the match. Stubb, I don't know what the communication is between the two of them. Stubb's difficult to communicate with. And now Stubb's out of his room. The room is up. Tam has set the room apparently to the tournament settings. So it looks as if, although Tam has gone through by forfeit, he's going to allow Stubb to play this match out, in which case we'll need to get Simon to input the result if it needs to be. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. But here we go then. So it's a race to 3 in this round 2 match. And I'm just going to post this in the room just to annoy them. And as we thought, Stubb's going to be doing a fair bit of banging. Wait a minute. Just get my plug in. Yeah, Stubb, as we thought, is going to be letting it run loose quite a bit. But he's in first. Well, there definitely wasn't 4 extensions in the tournament settings. In fact, that shows you how much I know, because let's have a look. 30 seconds, 4:15. I never even noticed that. 4 15-second extensions. Danger of the scratch. There you go.
Where's the cue ball going?
He's hit the back end of the 5, and that was always in the cards. And there go the points. And that is always dangerous to try and play a carom at that angle, because when the pocket's very adjacent, if you catch the 5 wrong, like Stubb did, there go the points. Well, he is lucky. But Tam has to take advantage of this situation and make Stubb pay the price. Now, that 5 is not in a position you want to be playing a carom to. Or at least if you are going to, you want to be playing it on the safe side, going from the rail onto the 5. Tam's going to try and get to the 1 ball here, and at this distance, the one thing Tam's not so comfortable with is the long force follows. But a good 2-railer there keeps the run going. Now the 1 is isolated. This is the thing about Cowboy. you can end up isolated like this where the balls are not sitting great, but the one objective that you then have is to try and get things back into some sort of shape here. So again, Tam's got a long force follow. The one been off the rail, it's quite a big target. Now he can get the one back in the spot. I mean, he could play the 3 and stay up top, but he's in good enough shape now once that one ball gets back in its spot. Welcome back, chaps. I hung around after seeing Stubb arriving, and I wanted to see what the outcome was going to be. I know if it was me, I would have just left and watched the tennis and just let Stubb stew. So Stubbs had a visit of 25. He promptly lost those points with a scratch. Tam's got that too thick, but the most important thing is he's kept his points. Now we have the 5 isolated, and the other danger with the 5 ball is it's very much on the middle line, on that middle diamond. But Stubbs finished, let me have a look. He's finished 2 straight, but he can pot the 3 and go forward. He's trying to stun onto the 5. He could have went forward onto the rail and try and bring it out. Well, the 3's now going to get potted. Although he'd be better potting the 1 and probably using the 5 to get the 3 out. You see, now he's in no shape. See, this is the obvious shot there was to pot the 1 and play the 5-3 to get the 3 in play. And now he's isolated. And he's going to have to pull out a shot here to get the carom. And the 10-foot table's caught Stubb out as well because he didn't get the draw in the cue ball. And that's the thing with players who don't play cowboy are going to get caught out. And Stubb most certainly doesn't play cowboy. He's never near the game at all. So he's out his depth here in that sense. Yes, he can pot balls, but you've got to be a cowboy player to see how to try and recover the table. And Tam's probably a far better player at that than Stubb's ever going to be. So now it's the carom from the 1 to the 5. He doesn't want to hit this hard though. He wants to keep that 5 alive just like that. Now he could pot the 5 and run over towards the 3, and as long as he doesn't go too close, he could have a 3-5 or a 5-1, which he's sort of got himself on. I think it's going to be a Thai green curry I'm going to have. So Tam has an opportunity here to really ramp up the pressure and build this score up as long as he doesn't lose it. Now this is the perfect table for cowboy, where they're all on the spots and you're staying up top or down below. And now he's got an easy carom to follow as long as he pots the 3 and checks it up and comes down left side. And that's what's caught. Well, in fact, he hasn't. He's gone down right side. The thing with right side is you have to make sure you're getting there. And he's missed the pot because of it. I thought it'd have been better coming down the left side to open up that carom a lot easier. And so Tam's run ends in 30. He's got a healthy lead at the moment. Stubb looks as if he's got a force follow here. Let me have a look. No, he hasn't, because it's way too tight. So now he's going to have to manufacture a shot. Trying to go the 2 rails tight in the corner onto the 1. And again, the cue ball running loose. But he's set up the next carom accidentally. Now, what I tend to do with these type of shots is I tend to, you know, it's an easy carom, but I tend to stop the cue ball and send the balls around the table to open things up. He's now killed the 3 ball dead in the rail, which you don't want to do. So now he's got to get good on this 5-1. Now he's having to do the force follow. And he's got to watch this 5 ball stays out the way because it's going to hit the knuckle and it might interfere with the 3 ball. I see he's struggling to find a line. If you don't play cowboy and you don't play force follows often enough, you're going to struggle because you're trying to find that line. And that's where, you know, Stubbs going to get caught out until he warms up. I mean, if he gets enough table time, I'm pretty certain he'll find that line, but you don't want to give him that opportunity. And Tam's now out of shape. He's going to have to make a pot. The table's not great. And as long as that 3 ball sits there, the chances of a decent run again getting to 90 are not great. Now, the 5 ball is a big target. And again, the danger is coming off the back of it and scratching. And he's missed the edge of the 1. The eyes have caught him out, and there goes his 7 points, which is, I suppose, a good thing that he didn't get a decent run there and then just lose it. So Stubb needs to get up the table or stay on a line where he can get to that 5. And again, he's not good, but there's an easy carom off the edge of the 3 and spin it around the corner. 5's a huge target. Should hit this every day of the week. Just caught it. Now, if he's going to cut the 5, he's either going to have to drop it in dead weight because the cue ball wants to go left. And he's missed the pot because of it. So the first thing Tam should do is get that ball back on its spot and stay up above the 3. Well, he's decided to let the cue ball run, but you can get the carom from this end because I'll tell a lie, I thought that was a 3 ball, it was a 5 ball, so now he's going to have to play the stunt, and he's missed it. And this is where Stubbs going to get his opportunities to reel in that score. Oh, Stubbs says that about every game he doesn't play. So Tam, at the moment, is strong favourite to get to the caroms. I'll be back in a minute. I had to go and get my bottle of water. Right, where have we got to? Well, Tam on 89. He's to get to 90 exactly. He's checked it up too much. Yeah, checked it up too much. He's now in 90 though, but he's checked it up too much the wrong side of the 5 there. Oh, now he's still on. He's got second prize there. Well, what you don't want to do is take a risky shot here and lose these points. And that spin is what kept it out of the pocket. So Tam now on 92. Karam's all the way to 100. And then the scratch and a 1. Well, Cowboy's a game where you are never out of it. You're never out of it, even at this stage. But Stubbs got to do an awful lot and keep the points that he does get. And also the other thing is how wise is Stubb when it comes to protecting the 1 ball? Because if Tam gets closer to that outshot, Stubbs got to be wise and try and keep himself alive. Good afternoon, welcome. So this is being played as part of the Cowboy World Championship. Stubb wasn't here when the match timed out. And Tam has decided he's given him the opportunity. So at the moment, Tam is through to round 3. And that will only change on the bracket if Stubb manages to get the result here. And he's a long way from doing that at the moment. Well, he can stun and draw to the rail and spin into the back of the 5. I think he got lucky there because he actually bumped to 3 on the way of getting there. Yes, he has. Now, the problem with the 5 and 1 is that they're square, so we'll get the 5 on its spot and he's got a 5-3 easy enough. Again, here's a test for the force follow. He's looking for the line. That looks reasonable enough. Yeah, he needs to, he should have learned from that shot there that he just went a wee bit too wide in the line. He caught the far side of the 3 ball. So again, like I said, if Stubb gets enough practice doing them, he's going to find that line and they'll come a lot easier to him. Especially if he's within range, he'll probably struggle, as we all do, in the longer 4 follows. He's now gone straight. And now he's going to have to do a recovery here, and the cue ball's going to be running loose again. Now, he could do the 3 railer off the right side of the 5, around the back of the 3 ball down to the 1. But again, it's what you don't want to be doing. You don't want to be running the cue ball if you can help it. He might be trying to stunt to the rail and come across to the 3 because he's not putting English on it. He's trying to pick the line around the angles to the back of the 3, which actually was a safer shot. I mean, that was a sensible shot, but it's a lot difficult to play that when you don't have the practice. So Stubbs' visit ends in 19, was it? And Tam now has to be patient because Stubb will get plenty of visits if Tam, I'll say that again, if Tam's struggling to find his caroms, and this allows Stubb to get back in it. He's going to have opportunities to build up the score and get close. So if you're Tam, you want to get well into these caroms and keep them at arm's length. Now, somebody can do me a favour and give me an update on the tennis score, the semi-final, because I can't tab out and go and check that. Now, here's a perfect force follow, I think. I'm sure he can get past that 3 and hold the line. He's going too wide. Tell a lie, it's Stubb at the table. My bad, I was thinking it was Tam. Djokovic looks out of it. Well, what's the score? Tell me what the score is. Well, no prizes for guessing what I'm playing here. I'm going for the mug shot. I'm going for the 3 railer to the 1. Always fraught with danger of the scratch. And it's a decent line. Looks good. Very well done. 1 set up and 3-0 to Sinner. Oh, Djokovic is going to have to dig deep to the sounds of it. Thanks for that. Well, Sinner's number 1 in the rankings, is he not? Well, now this is awkward because he's hampered over the 1 ball, so it limits what he could do. He looks as if he's trying to... Could be stunning the rail to try and get to the 5 or playing the draw to the 3. We might get lucky. He's just grazed it. And the 1 ball is sitting pretty good to come into the back of it. You don't want to hit this hard, though. I mean, he could force follow to get to it. Yeah, he's going to the rail, but he's gone behind it. But it's 3 valuable caroms. They're like gold dust. Now, if I'm right in saying, unless somebody tells me otherwise from any of these other matches that have gone ahead, the highest run is still 78, which I think, and I could be wrong saying this, and somebody might correct me if I'm wrong, I think it might have been Interchange X that got the 78 in that match with LS3. Well, you weren't playing, Matt, in a tournament match yet, were you? So the tournament high run is not in the stats. That's the problem. It's not kept in the stats. So we'll just have to remember. And from what I remember, it's 78. I'd certainly think that won't last for the tournament. And it could go, I would expect it to go Sunday night. Oh, Stubb can play the stun onto the 5. That's not difficult. He could play the stun onto the 1. In fact, probably the better odds is playing the stun off the 3 to the 1 and the 5, because that way if you miss one, you'd probably hit the other. You've got to look for two-way shots in Cowboy, because sometimes the table's not in your favour and two-way shots can bail you out. And I would have definitely played the 3 to the 1 and the 5, because I think that it increases your odds a lot better for getting a sort of bailout shot. And now he's set Tam up here. He's got a starter. And Tam could go to the rail and stun it, but he's going thin. Problem with that is, see, I would have tended to play the stun because going thin, if your eyes are dodgy like mine, picking that thin edge is never good. This will work though. Oh, unlucky. But again, another valuable runner too. Takes him closer to the finish line in this first rack. But if you're going to get back into it in this position when your opponent is only 4 points away from getting out, when you get a chance like this, you must put a score. You must get to the caroms. If Stubb doesn't get to the caroms in this visit, he's pretty much down and out in this rack. He has to put something substantial to pose a threat to Tam. Now, how's the line in this? Yeah, this is a wee bit dodgy. The problem with playing the force follow to the 1 is the 5's going around the angles and kicking the 1. So again, Stubb comes to the table. Stubb's last point was just the 1, and that's not putting any pressure and not giving his chances much, or his chances haven't improved much. He's got to get a score. And that's a terrible shot. Completely way off the angle in that pot. Now Tam's got an easy carom. Now this is a chance to win the rack here. Definitely a chance to win the rack because he's got the 2 balls gathered and he can just feather these. He's got to be careful though when he plays his last carom to the 1, because he wants to keep the carom open and try and set that 1 ball near the pocket if he can. And that looks good. And the 1 ball should be going out the way. He's just got to trust your line. I mean, there's a force follow. He's playing the draw. See, if this was me, I'm sending that 1 around and just force follow into the pocket. But he's done it the other way, and that works. Whatever you're happy with and whatever you're comfortable with, and that gives Tam the first rack. And really no threat at all coming from Stubb in that first rack. Well, a dodgy cutback on the 5. And that's where you want to be. You want to be below the 1. You've got an easy carom to the 5. And You're just trying to keep a ball in play so you've got a fairly comfortable pot. Now he can draw back to the right as we look and watch that side pocket. He might be going forward, but he needs to slow up because you're trying to leave the 5-3. And that he's gone the worst position you could get to. So now he's going to go to the rail to get to the 3. He would have liked to force follow, but that'll work. As long as you've got yourself a half a chance of doing something, that's all you're looking for. And now the thin edge of the force follow again. And, well, you've got a choice. If you've made your mind up it's 5-1, then you stay more or less just out in the table. Tam's decided to come back. It'll be 5-3. And now you want to hit the 3-ball, half ball. That's the main objective here. He's hit it too thin, but he's good that the 5 is still in play. And it's so easy to kill your run by sending a ball to a rail, and then suddenly you're having to dig out some sort of carom or pot to keep the run going. And again, things are just looking at the moment that they're going out of shape. He's going to have to play the thin cut in the 3. The question now is he should be either staying below the 1. He's hit that too hard. See, that was not the greatest of shots. He probably could have played the draw from the 3 to the 5, but having missed the pot, the run ends in 28. And Stubbs doing the wrong thing here because he should have potted the 3. Now he's left himself at distance here. He should have got that 3 back in that spot straight away. Make his life a lot easier. See, now he's got everything isolated and there's nothing easy left here. This is no good. Everything, he's having to manufacture shots here, and no matter how good you are, you're going to run out of shots eventually. So he's going to go to the rail. He's got a 2-way shot off the rail to the 5, and he's got it pretty well. If he had missed the 5, there's a strong chance he would have hit the 1 if it had the pace. So now he's getting things back into sort of shape. Now again, playing this carom, I wouldn't be playing it hard. I'd be playing it to bring the 5 in play and bump the 1-ball, half ball. Well, he's gone behind it. Again, it's gone out of shape pretty quickly, but he can just run this up the top corner and keep the cue ball there or thereabouts. He doesn't have to run. So he'll be going 2 rails into the back of the 5, or he could be trying to stun direct, but the angle's there to get to the 1-5. That's not a problem. That's an easy shot. He's looking around and looking around. I don't know why, because it should be the 5 to the 1 to the 5. He's going to go rail and cut across to the 1 by the look of it. Not the simplest of shots. His life would have been a lot easier if he just played the 1 to the 5 off the short rail onto the long rail into the 5. But he's managed to pull it off. And again, long force follow on from the 5 to the 1. Now, this is not difficult. It's only difficult because you're stuck in the rail, but if you've been playing lots of force follows, it's not the most difficult force follow carom, but Stubb can't find a line at that distance. So the run ends on 21, but it gets him into the rack. Again, choices in what you do here. I'm trying to stay below the 1, but he's going to be playing the 5-3 next. And you play that soft because the sucker scratch is always on if you play a firm carom to that 3 ball either into that pocket or that pocket, but he's kept the 5 alive, which is the main objective there. And again, it's Tam prefers, he feels it's more reliable playing the thin edge, whereas I don't trust myself to play thin edges. I'd much rather went for the force follow. So now he's going to have to dig out a pot. 1 ball, stay below, or 5 ball and try and stay below. But he's nudged to 5, and now he's got 1 option. And again, it's the thin edge to the 3. Again, you want it half ball. See, that's full in the face. I think he's lucky enough he can see the 1. Now, see, now he's struggling. He could play a 2-way shot off the left edge of the 3, and that's what he's doing. He's going to go left edge, go to the rail and try and hit the 5, and if he misses the 5, got a chance of hitting the 1. That's a 2-way shot you have to look for in that situation. Increase your odds on each shot if you can. The run goes to 22. Once again, he's not fully in control here. This could break down any second. Like I said, if you don't get yourself in a comfortable shape, you're really going to struggle to keep these runs going. But the points are more important than anything else. He's kept his points. He's got that 30-point lead. And Stubb again with either a thin edge or a force follow to the 1. But Stubb, I think, said his fingers burn trying to learn these force follows, and he's not keen on it. They're playing the draw to the 3. Let me have a look. See, I would play the force follow every day of the week on that 5 ball to get to the 1. He's now going to the rail, trying to hit the 5, and he's got it. You know, Stubbs, given enough table time, he will find his way, you would think, eventually. Stubbs' main objective, being the underdog, is that he has to try and get to the caroms first, which is a big ask. Now, table is open. And 3 ball, get it back onto its spot and stay up top. And that's the ideal scenario you've got here. So five ball, he can bring onto its spot. Now he could go, let me have a look. Well, the cut in the 5's a bit less comfortable than he would like. But he's got a 5 to the 1 as a bailout. He's also got the 3 to the 1 if he fancies that, but the 5's a big target. Now with this one, I'd be trying to nip across to the right side and stay there or thereabouts to get the 1-5 and Tam has got that all wrong because I think he got it far too thin. And lucky he didn't scratch. And he also got lucky that he never left Stubb anything easy. Stubb had to try and play the combo there. And that's even worse.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, that's the worst shot of the day. Tam can watch that when he's in a pint later on, because that was a proper numpty shot. Oh, he was in a pot, was he? Well, Tam's got the first prize for the numpty shot of the day because he's just played it. Now, this is no gimme, this, Karam. He should be playing it off the other side of the 5. You know, he's played the thin cut, but the reason I say he should have went the other side is that you're hitting the one and bringing it into the table. He's just, you know, the one's still killed in the rail. It's still good enough for the next Karam, though. Now, this time, let me have a look. This time you can overcut the 5, go to the rail and punch the 1 out, but it looks as if he's trying to play the thin edge again and come into the back of the 5, whereas I'd be going off that side and chipping the 1 ball out. Now, why he doesn't see that, I don't know. He doesn't fancy it for some reason. A bit of left English in the cue ball, overcut the 5. You're not going to hit the 1 with the 5 ball and go to the rail and punch the 1 out. Easy shot. But Stubb does it his way. Good afternoon to VP Monster. Well, this match was all over because if you're a latecomer, Stubb wasn't in the lobby when the room timed out, and then he showed up. And Tam is already shown on the bracket that he's through to round 3, but the match was arranged in a match room. Tam's given him the benefit of his generosity. Stubb has got himself in trouble. Welcome to Blind Hog. Well, that was a nice little Karam. Needed the spin on it to get that cue ball punched towards the 1. But everything is tough for Stubb. He's having to be really, really creative here. Because he's not really in any sort of control, which tends to be the way the thing goes half the time. It's not always going to go sweet and easy where everything is under control. But the more you have to be creative, the more likelihood sooner or later is going to die a death. And the worst outcome is you lose all your points. So Stubbs kept his points, but unfortunately for him, it's only 14 points. But he's only 20 behind. Now, Tam, this time, can go to the rail and punch that 1 out, but he's playing it delicate feathers. I would still prefer to get the back of that 1 and get out of there. He's fine as the way he is now because he's got the easy 3 to the 1. It's all about just trying to get things under control when you come back to the table. Now, if he pots the 3, he can drop this in dead weight if he can. Again, he's running up top, so it's going to be 5 to 1. I would have played that dead weight and just dropped it in. Because again, doing that, I'm giving myself 2 chances to get a Karam from the bottom end of the table. I never like, if I can help it, putting all my eggs into one basket and having to dig out a shot every time. Again, same with this. He's too much angle in the 1, so he's trying to get up top. Is he going to get second prize? No, he isn't. So, in a way there, Stubb has been let off the hook. Tam's only got 12 on the board in that visit, and Stubb can eat into that deficit if he can get things under control. Now, again, this could be the sucker scratch. If he goes to the 1, there's a dangerous scratch. If he hits this hard to get to the 3, he can get it half ball and still run to the pocket, but he's played it well, but killed the 3 ball in the process. You don't want to have to do that. But now he's got to find a way to get that ball back into play, or his visit ain't going to last long. Well, I think the problem for Monster tomorrow, or Sunday, I think the match is, the problem for Monster is Monster and us guys that play Cowboy in the morning, we like to play at a decent pace instead of faffing about. And the problem that Monster's got is he's got to be patient, because Cobra's going to take his time. And it might be quite a long time between visits for Monster, and he might get in too much of a hurry. He might be chasing a score, and that's going to be to his detriment. And I think Monster needs to be aware of that, if he isn't already aware of that, that Cobra's going to be ultra cautious. He's not going to be running the cue ball a lot if he can help it. In fact, his game is that he doesn't run the cue ball a lot. And so you're going to have maybe long bouts where you're sitting there watching him, and it puts even more pressure on Monster to score when he's in. Monster becomes favourite when it gets to the caroms, but up until then, he's in trouble. And he knows that. And he knows that if his potting lets him down, he's just going to be feeding Cobra. So he will. And meanwhile, I'm back at the table, and I think he's miscounted here. Yeah, he's a complete numpty, and Tam's bottle is gone. He's under pressure, and he's the one that's trying to get to 90. And he's potted the 3 ball when he's in 88. A complete noob numpty shot by Tornado Tam. And we have it on tape. So he's going to get humiliated by me for the 2 numpty shots of the match so far, and that's the biggest one. And that is a sucker noob shot he's just played. Too busy faffing about and not concentrating on the scoreboard, and he might live to regret it. He said he's going to watch it later on when he's having a pint. Well, he won't want to watch what he's just done there. Because he's given Stubb a lifeline here that he probably shouldn't have had. Tam should have been getting warmed up in the caroms. Well, I'd play this up top, and Stubbs playing it into the side. The problem with that is he's at a shallow angle, and he's going to have to make the carom, and this is a sucker scratch every day of the week. If you get this half ball, you're in trouble, and you're in danger of the scratch. That's the problem with this angle. You're having to play that and stun it to make the 3. Oh, he's decided to go for the 1 as a safer shot, which again is a sensible shot to play. I mean, it's all very well and easy to be critical, but he didn't fall into the trap. The problem with that is, though, that his visit ends only in 13 when he really wanted to be into the caroms before Tam. Well, Tam should have his wits about him now after that effort he made in his last visit. He's now in 85. So he pots the 3 and he stays up top. He's got an easy carom to follow. And now that the 1 ball is where it is, the problem now is he's got a carom and he wants to try and get near the 1 ball. and he's coming down on top of it, so he can't pot anything else other than the 1. So it has to be the bank, up and down, and again, Tam's still short of the 90, and this is Stubbs' last chance to take the lead in this match in this second rack. Well, Sinner's now 2 sets up. Well, if you're a champion, which Djokovic is, you've got to dig deep. But maybe age is catching up with him. It's still unbelievable watching Djokovic sliding across that turf, doing the splits. You're surprised he doesn't tear a hamstring or something, or a groin injury or whatever. So Stubb on 88, and the 1 is dead in the water. So I don't know why he's looking at these 2 balls, because he's if he pots any of them, he thinks he's in a carom. Well, I suppose, again, maybe not. I think I'll give Stubb the benefit of the doubt there, because Stubbs actually played a safe and blocked Tam off, or tried to. And this time, Tam's finally bit the bullet and played the force follow. And now he's got a 2-3 railer, or inside the 3 to just nudge the 5. Let's have a look. Well, that's definitely on. That is definitely on. If he can get this nice and gentle. Oh, he's not getting there. He's not getting there. Or has he? Yes, he has. Let's see if the replay's working. That is cigarette paper thin, but they all count. I don't think he's got the force follow this time, and now it's loads of left English to spin to the back of the 5, and he's kept them alive. But again, he's going to have to go to the rail. He's got to make sure he's overcutting this 1 if that's what he's looking at. He's got it too thin. He wanted the line to come out further to the right, but at least the 1 is dead as far as Tam's concerned. Stubb on 88. He does have a carom, and the 1 ball where it's stuck. Stubb trying to play the banging shot to make the carom, doesn't get there. Well, again, 5-1. If he missed the 1 and hit it hard, well, he's played 5-3. And he's got a lucky kick there with the 5. Every little helps, as they say. Tam now in 95. Now, can he bank that 5 and spin to the 1? I think that's on. I think he can bank the 5 and spin to the 1. And that's not going to get there. I'm pretty certain he could have. I mean, look at the 5. It's right on the rail. You know, the line's on the rail. He could have banked that and spun the cue ball to the 1. Well, this is danger if he's going for the thin edge and trying to carom the 5, because the 5 looks as if it's going in every day of the week. Well, he lost. He lost for the simple reason that he never got to the caroms often enough before Chiku did. In fact, there was about 3 out of the 5 racks went to final point, you know, the last scratch decider in that match. It could have went either way, the match. I mean, Interchange X could have easily won it 3-1. And Tam now in 96. And this is set up nice now. he should be good to go. That takes him to 98. Now he's got a nice little, if you overcut the 5, double check the angle, but he's got a nice little 2-3 railer onto the 1. That's definitely on. I mean, I think you can overcut the 5, go to the rail, come to the short rail and hit the back of the 1. Didn't fancy it though. But he's in very strong position at the moment. But Stubb could make inroads into these caroms. In fact, he has to. That needed to go a bit higher, I think. Now he's having to play the stun again, and the 5 ball's going to be running. And now again, he's not ideal. You've got to watch these object balls because they could easily find a pocket. So Tam on 99. Now there's a two-way shot on here that he has to go for. He has to go left side of the 1 and come down that left side as we look and look at the 5-3 as an option. You know, well, he's not hit it hard enough to do that. And that wasn't the most difficult shot in the world. Stubb now into the carom phase. Maybe Tam's sweating a wee bit here for fear of Stubb getting into a set position where he can make a handful, but that's not going to happen. But he's been fortunate he hasn't left an easy table. Tam's trying to go thin left side, bump the 1, takes him to the 100. And that 3 ball has got him locked off, I think. Now, where's he calling this? Is he trying to play the draw? Looks like it. Yeah, he got into it too much. I don't know that that line was really on, was it? So difficult to judge, but Stubb now, this is a perfect scenario I was talking about where Stubb has to protect the 1 ball. And, you know, he might be trying to make a carom here, and if he doesn't get it, that 1 and that cue ball stays out on the table. He's pretty much setting up for Tam. I wonder if Stubb is going to be wise enough to deal with this situation. Well, he has to. That's the problem. He has to think about that. You've got to try and just cling on by your fingertips here. And this is not bad. This is not bad. Well, he wants to try the double kiss onto the 1. Is he playing the draw? He wants to. If he does, he's got to watch the line. He's got to play the double kiss, but he's not sitting in perfect shape for the double kiss at that angle. Yes, he can draw to the 5, but he's got to watch the line the 1 ball's taking doing it. Well, he went to the rail. That was wise. And the 1 ball's coming back into play. So the run is 4. Can he keep them? Can he put the pressure on Tam? Now again, he's in the dreaded position of having to manufacture a shot here. And again, if he plays this right, he could send the 1 ball onto the short rail and try and get to that 3. But if he sends the 1 ball to the short rail in the process, he won't leave the easiest of outshots for Tam, but he's not thinking about that. because that one ball sitting there is an open invitation. Now, if this is me, I'm going off the edge and pushing that to the top rail and trying to hit the 3. If I get it, fine. I'm still in with a chance. But if I don't and I go long, I'm finishing down here with the one ball somewhere up there, not in the easiest of positions. But he's got the carom. And again, it's a struggle. He's going to have to use his imagination to come up with something here. He could be playing the big draw to the rail to try and come back onto the one. Well, he isn't. He's just trying to run it and find the angle. But the only good thing for him is he's kept his points. And he's in with a shout because, like I said, the problem is, though, he hasn't got the one ball to the rail. And Tam can stun in off this. That was the only danger. And it's 2-0. Had he got that one ball on the rail, he may well still been in with a chance. But he actually hit it too soft. Well, admittedly, though, he did get the carom on the 3 ball in the process. But he wasn't really thinking about protecting the 1 ball. Well, Tam's into the rack that he needs to consolidate the result that it should be, as it shows on the bracket at the moment. Well, that was a sucker scratch shot, but he got the 3 ball thick enough. And now he's going to have to bail out with a bedhead cut and a 1 ball. But he shouldn't have any problem getting the follow-up carom. But the 1 ball wipes his feet and hangs there. And the score is only 10. One ball, 3 balls stay up top or hold it. One of the two. Well, he's come back a lot further than I would have liked. And, well, he got lucky there. He missed it on the way across and hit it on the way back. That wasn't in the plan. Good afternoon to Darren Cook, whoever Darren Cook is in VP4. Oh, that's a question we have to ask you, Coldest Pillow, if you're still there. Oh, it's Vertical Liquid. Good afternoon. Are you still there, CP? Because you've gone very quiet. Romario has raised some suspicions over you because he was eyeing up your profile, and I'm going to ask on his behalf, what the hell was your VP4 name when you first started in VP4? Because you've never been Coldest Pillow for a long time. And Romario, having checked your profile and seen that you've had a profile here since 2015, he wants to know, and I want to know, who the hell were you before that? I think that's about the 3rd time Stubbs said Noob's game. Well, they're a terrible stun to the one there. That was an easy. Did he get the edge? No, he didn't. I thought he had the edge there for a second. No, you've never always been coldest pillow. Don't kid yourself on. You have never always been coldest pillow. Coldest Pillow's only showed up here in a number of months, that name. And if you've had a profile since 2015, you've definitely had another name. No doubt about it. Right, what have we got here? Right, so one spot is play the 5 onto the 1, get the 1 on its spot. I only played offline in what? In school? But you didn't have much to do in school then if you were playing Virtual Pool 4. Well, meanwhile, into rack number 3. Stubb with a scoring opportunity. But again, not set up ideal for the carom. And he's having to bang balls to try and stud and make the carom here. Well, that 5 coming a blocker doesn't matter. He's set up with the 1. Now, again, I'd be jacking up just to hold the cue ball centre of the table, but he's played it soft to keep both balls in play. Now, 5 balls going to go onto the spot. He needs to go over to the left, and that's pretty good. And now roll the 5 in. Don't go dead straight behind the 1. And he's hit that far too hard. So again, he's having to manufacture a shot. It could be the stun draw to try and get to the 3. Could be going up and down to get to the 3 off the 2 rails. And he's just caught the edge. But the 3 ball not in a good position, and you immediately want to get that back in play if you can. But you have to get the right shot to do it. Got to be careful with the draw for the carom. So Stubbs' run moves on to 28. Now the question is can he keep them? Because you would think sooner or later he's going to have to run loose. What did Romario say? Romario said what I said. He was just wondering who you were in another life when you had been with VP4 so long. Well, I don't know what happened there. I missed it because I read the chat, but Stubbs' run ends. He's kept his points. He's only got a slender lead, though. So, edge of the 5, edge of the 1, and spin to the 5. Oh, I didn't get that. Maybe it was actually too much of an angle to spin to the 5. So Tam has failed in getting rid of the deficit there in that visit. Only 10. I was supposed to be Romario. What do you mean by that? Not sure what Stubb was trying there. Well, Stubb might not realise it yet, but this is his best chance because he's still in front. It's his best chance to try and get to those caroms before Tam does. That sounds about right when you started playing online. I still don't know what you meant by I was supposed to be Romario. So Tam's now 30 points behind and counting. But Stubb again having to play the draw to the one. Still not ideal. And not found a line. So the run ends in 16. And Stubb didn't really make the most of that. He needed a lot more than that. And Tam taking the risk there. Well, 5 ball will go in a spot. He's going to be a distance from the carom. And there's a big gap behind that 3 ball. Yeah. Post follows at that distance and at that angle are not simple. They are far from it. So once again, Tam's visit only 9, and again it gives Stubb a great chance here if he would stop typing crap to get on with it and actually put a score on the board here. I mean, he should realise he's got a chance, but he's missed the pot in the 5. And Tam now has a chance to get that 1 ball into play. Pot the 5, leave the 5-1, get the 1 back into the game. And he's, well, again, I don't know why he's letting the cue ball run so loose like that, but when the 1 goes in its spot, eventually he would have had a 1-3 carom. So Tam's going about this not the way I would have went about it. And he's running loose as well. And I think one of the main rules in this game, really, to be sensible, is you don't want to run the cue ball if you can help it. There are times where you are going to be in a situation where you're going to have to, but if you can cut down that to a minimum, which is one thing that Cobra has found If you can cut that down to a minimum, the less running of the cue ball you do, the less likelihood you are of finding a pocket somewhere in this table. And it's a pretty good rule of thumb to go by. And here we go again for about the third or fourth time. Stubb in a great position with a lead, and he should be on 90. But the one ball still sticking where it is, and until that gets back into play, which he should do now. I mean, it should be 1 to 3 every day of the week here, and get that out into play. He's going to play 3-5. He might regret that. But if he pots the 5 and just holds the cue ball, he'll have the 3-1. So it should be simple. Stubbs in another bloody planet, let alone Moscow. Well, if you roll the 3 in, you can leave the 5-1 again. Now, he really wants to, if he is going to roll, let me have a look at the angle he's got, though. Yeah, he can run and let the cue ball open out, so he makes the angle shallower to get to the 1, and that's perfect. And now he can play the pot and the 1 and draw back into the table and leave the 3-5, or stay there and leave the 3-5. That looks pretty good. That's what he's done. Now he needs to pay attention to the scoreboard, because this is where you get so engrossed in what you're doing, you make the mistake that Tam made, which you wouldn't expect from Tam, but he done it. He potted the 3 when he needed just 2. And he went over the 90. And Stubb misses a pot in the 3. And again, major fail there because he didn't get to the 90. Well, let me have a look. The force follow is definitely on there from the 3 to the 1, but it was at distance. And again, Stubb, golden opportunity now with a 30-point lead. He has to get to 90. Simple as that. And again, he's not perfect. Now he needs to keep a ball in play because he can't pot the 5. The 1 ball will do it. If he just drops it in, he'll have the 1 to the 5. That's all he needs to do. I don't know why he's looking up the table at the 3. Just drop the 1 in and leave the 1-5. Got to be careful he doesn't hit this too hard. He wants to try and keep the 1 in play because the 3's isolated up table. And he is an 87 anyway. And now he's killed the 1 ball. He's going to have to do a Stubb cut up the table. If he hits the other ball, he'll be on 90. But ideally, he just wants to pot this. That's the main objective. And he's got it. So that takes him to 89. Let me have a look. And again, an easy carom to the 5 off the 1. I mean, that is a big target, and he's trying to do it the fancy way. He's trying to spin left English to get to the one. And now the 5 is in a dangerous position to keep the caroms going. Well, he could overcut the 3, go short rail up top, long rail right side, and come down narrow to the 5. Got to make sure you're overcutting the 3, though, playing that shot. You don't want to pot the 3 by mistake. But Stubbs not interested. Used up one of his extensions. My ball's going to stay in the table. So Tam is now under pressure. I'm pretty certain Tam doesn't want to prolong this match. He wants to get it in the bag and done and dusted. But he's going to have to produce to do that. So he's got 30 points to get in the game. And that should certainly focus the mind. Well, now you can pot the 5, stay below the 1. Hit the 5 half ball if you can. And that'll do. Now again, he's got a choice. He can cut the 1 in and leave the 3-5 carom, or pot the 5, stay up top. And he's missed the pot in the 5. But what he has done is he's killed Stubbs' opportunity here to run out. Because as long as that 5 ball stays there, Stubbs not going anywhere fast. Too narrow, too soon. And would you believe it, he's got himself blocked off. Trying to catch the 5, but it ain't going to get there. But again, the 5 ball, as long as it stays there, Tam's in good shape as far as no fear of Stubb running out here. He's got very slim odds of making much from this table. So the 3 goes in its spot. Tam can go thin edge of the 1 out onto the 3. He can pot the 5, get it back in the game. He'll have the 3-5 carom. But for his sake, he also wants to get that 1 ball back in its spot. I can play the draw. Easy enough draw. 3 goes in. 5 ball stays there or thereabouts. He moves on to 86. Looking for the bonus point there by catching the 1, but he missed it. So 89. Well, as I said earlier, it would have been better getting that 1 ball on its spot, because now it's dangerous to be trying to get caroms down to that 1. So we're all even here. 90 points apiece. Carm's all the way to 100. And it's a race to the finish line in this rack. Now, the obvious way you're going to get that one ball in play is having a shot to go long rail onto the one and bump it further into the table. If you go any other way to that one, you're in danger of scratching or actually potting the one. Well, now Tam could just play a safety here. He's probably going 2 rails to get to the 3. And that's a good shot. Now, the scenario I spoke about, he's got the 5 ball in a position here where he can bump full on that 1 ball if he can. Oh, he's trying to bump it around and spin through her. I think, yeah, he might have just been playing safe because he could have got to the 1, but I think Tam in his, why am I keeping saying Stam? Tam in his position wants to just protect his points. He's got to 93. And that, again, was a wise move. He didn't take a risk. Why should you? Because now the 3 ball's pretty much dead in the water. It's going nowhere fast. But there are times in Cowboy also where the 3 ball's in that position, and there is a time where you might have the opportunity to bring the 3 ball in play, if only because you're chasing, and it might be a sort of last resort move, but there's a right time and a wrong time to make that move. Tam will be patient enough to just work with what he's got here. As well, Stubb will have to be also. And Cold as Pillow has signed up for Friday night 9-ball. Ball running loose here. No, he's trying to get to the 3, and that looks good. Took the risk. And not a lot you can do with that 3 ball now. I mean, he can go off the right side of the 1 and come around the tight angles to try and get to the 5. It's far from easy. Well, all he's done there is set Tam up with an opportunity. Hasn't got the spin on it. Or he got it too thin to try and hit the back of that 1. He'll need to check this up maybe with a bit of right if he's trying to thin edge the 1 and overcut it to get to the 5. You see, he didn't check it up. You needed right English on that to straighten the cue ball off that back rail to hit the 5, and I think Stubb hit it plain ball. So Tam edges closer to the 3rd and final rack that he needs to secure the match. Well, he could, yeah, he's just playing the wise shot, just leaving it ugly for Stubb. And just be patient. The finish line will come as long as you're not trying to get desperate to get there, and he doesn't need to. Stubb's the one that's doing the chasing. Oh, that brush there has helped. You see that? He got that second little brush off that ball. They hit it and then he brushed it, and then he nudges the 1. Well, that's a bonus. A little roll of the ball there for Stubb. Well, he's going for the big heave-ho draw here, but this 5-ball might end up getting away if he's trying to do that. He's trying to overcut this with right English to come down, maybe off the bottom rail and hit the 1. I think that's what he's trying to do, but it's so difficult. Yeah, you got it far too thick for a start. And he had nowhere near the amount of English on it. And I don't think that line was really ever there. It was a pretty much impossible shot to try and pull out. Well, this can be a gentle edge down to the 1. He's got it too narrow. Oh, we've got to watch the double kiss here. Well, the thing about this match room that we're in is Stubb can bail out before Tam plays the final shot because it's not officially in the tournament. And the room won't time out. That's the problem. Tam will be stuck there. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, if you're in Stubbs' position and you're on 93, well, something like that gets the 3-ball in play, if only by accident, I think. But what he's done in the process is scratched, and Tam has a chance to win the match here if he can get things in shape. And that's bringing the 1 across. Well, it looks a fairly easy carom from the 5 to the 1. Just left side of the 5, top side of it as we look. Tam's going the other way, but of course going that way, you end up bumping it and potting it. The safest shot, and again, why Tam didn't play it, I don't understand. With the 5-ball there, why didn't he just play the thin edge and hit the back of the 1? If he didn't bump the 5 too far, he might have had a long 5-3 carom. That was a pretty silly shot that he played. Because you're playing it at that pace and bumping the 5 can always find a hole. And he's now, Stubbs now in a position where the balls are in play. He's got a carom to the 3-5. Well, he would have liked to have gone up top. He's still in the right half of this, but the line isn't there. The line isn't there. Well, edge of the 5, down onto the short rail. Either hit the 1 on the way up or hit it from behind. Didn't get the spin on it. No spin on it. In case you hit that back rail, you have to put a wee bit on it to push that cue ball in the right direction when it hits the rail. Needed a bit of right English. But this is all hard work for both of them, with the 3-ball being sort of out of play. Well, here's a 2-way shot every day of the week. Off that 1, again, you cut the 1 to the rail, hit the right side, and come down the right side. And the five's getting in again. And Tam might be building up a sweat here. Because you never know what can happen. It might be a long night, Tam, if you don't get this done. There's a bit of faffing going on here. And long force follows for Stubb are not easy. They're not easy at the best of times, and you want to avoid them like the plague if you can help it, but, you know, he's getting caught out with them. All Tam needs is one good shot to get in proper shape where he's in control, and he's not at the moment. But that's all it will take for him to get this match finished. And of course, the 3 and 5 are coming in line. Now again, he can go to the rail. He could actually go 2 rails. He could go to the rail and come off the short rail into the back of the 5. He's went the other way. Nowhere near either of them. But it's 2 vital caroms on the finishing straight. And Stubb hanging on by a thread. He can go to the long rail, stun into the 1. He's trying to go direct. But if he had actually gone to the long rail on the left side, the 1 ball was a huge target to hit. And he can be thankful he hasn't again left anything simple here for Tam. And this time, the 1 ball is isolated in the corner. There's too much room around behind the 1 ball, and it's not the easiest of targets to hit. But that's the shot. I mean, he can look around all he wants, but that's the shot he has to go for. And he's found it. Now again, this has got loads of room to go around, but he's got a 2-railer to get to that 1. And that's well played. Moves him to 97. He's a point behind. And he's got to be careful, because if he's going thin to get to the 5, he's got to be careful here, because this is dangerous territory. Well, it's 2-0 to Tam, and we're in probably the deciding rack here. Anything could happen. Stubb on 98, Tam on 98. Stubb now on 99. And the 1 ball is sitting perfect for a scratch to the side, but he's got to get the cue ball there. He's also got the in-off into the corner if he stays up top. And he's missed the 5. Well, that's the best chance he's ever going to have of keeping this match alive, because it should be pretty much gone by now. Oh, the 1 ball's been made awkward now. It's been bumped by the 5. And Tam's got a stun carom to the 1 on 99. And now...
Hasta la vista, baby.
It's all over. No way he's missing this. So a comfortable win for Tam. 3-0. The bracket doesn't have to change. Tam is through to round 3. And he will either play Cobra. But we'll just check that out. Right, the bloody... I'm waiting the result coming out, of course, and it's not in the tournament room. Right, there we go. you can see that Tam has went through by forfeit, but in actual fact, he's went through by 3 racks to 0. So he's now waiting on the winner of the Monster Cobra match. And if we look at that schedule, those 2 matches that are left in the schedule, we have a 1-loss side match tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. British Summer Time, Romario and Interchange X. I'll be there for that. And then we'll have that big match on Sunday with, I believe, the defending champion for 2 years in a row. Is he not, Cobra? I could be wrong. Up against VP Monster, who's the wannabe champion. But it's going to be tough for Monster. He knows what he's up against. And like I said, Monster has to be patient. He can't be in a hurry because he's going to get stopped and started by Cobra in that match. So that's what we've got to look forward to. Well done to Tam. He got the win as we all expected. Probably not in the way we thought it was going to be, with Stubb not turning up at the right time. But anyway, Stubb's over on the 1-loss side. I don't know whether he'll play that match or not, but we've got a couple of matches to look forward to over the weekend. Hope you can join us. And that's it. I don't know whether the tennis is still on. I'm going to try and catch some of it if it's still on. Thanks for your company, guys. Take care. And don't forget, in fact, Friday Night 9-Ball should be already started. Slim should be, I presume, streaming it. I haven't seen any links from Slim. Oh, yes, I have. There it is. So Slim should be live right now. You can join his channel on Twitch. And you've got those matches that are underway. Coldest Pillow playing Spectre Dawn. Oh, Yamaguchi Taro's in it against Romario. So, in fact, well, the room is up, but there's only one player in it. In fact, where the hell's Romario? Is he actually here? Romario might not be showing. So he's not here. Anyway, we'll let you work that out. That's it, guys. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.